Mr. President, I want to join with Senator Reed and so many of my colleagues today is we express our great sorrow in learning about the death of Senator Jim Inhofe. Jim was an icon here in the Senate. He was a personal inspiration to me. When I first got here, impressed. Hold on. First got here, he was the chairman of the Environment and Public Works Committee in the Senate and worked with me. My first legislative accomplishments came as a result of him and his staff working with me to help me establish myself as a new senator and to do the work that the people of South Dakota sent me here to do. And he made that possible because of just the way that he led the committee, his understanding of what it takes to get things accomplished here in the United States Senate. And I'm grateful for his legislative prowess, for his leadership as the chairman of not only that committee, but later the Senate Armed Services Committee. And grateful for his tireless work ethic. I learned a lot. My first trip actually as a senator abroad was to Iraq. And I went with Senator Inhofe. And I can tell you from traveling with him, and I know that anybody who's traveled with Senator Inhofe knew that he had boundless energy and an ability to work people half his age under the table. He was truly a remarkably durable and passionate advocate for this country, a man of deep convictions, and as was pointed out by Senator Reed, somebody who had a connection with the rank and file military because of his military background. And every place that we went, we would meet with soldiers who respected him for that, the connection that he had, and also for the leadership that he provided for our country when it came to important national security matters. I also had the opportunity in Oklahoma to visit, to travel the state a little bit with him. I flew in an airplane with Senator Inhofe, and he was a renowned pilot. I think everybody knew that was one of his great passions in life. But there wasn't anybody who was around him ever who had the opportunity to interact with or work with Senator Inhofe who wasn't impressed by that powerful work ethic that he brought for the people of Oklahoma and for the people of this country. And I know that in traveling abroad with him, I saw that firsthand. I know his many trips to the continent of Africa, oftentimes to war-torn countries, where he built relationships, advocated for American ideals, and was a tremendous example and witness on those trips. And I'm grateful for his leadership in so many ways and for the impact that he had not only to the people of Oklahoma, to the people of this country, but people all over the world who he touched by his work, by his efforts, and by his character. And I also want to say, finally, and probably most importantly, Mr. President, above all, I'm grateful for his Christian witness. Jim was a man of deep and profound faith, and it showed up literally, as I mentioned, in every aspect of his life. For many years, he hosted Chaplain Black's Bible study in his office, providing a place for senators from both parties to gather for prayer and study. And I don't think, and I think Chaplain Black could probably validate this, that Jim ever missed a session of that Bible study. And while the Bible study has continued without him, and is still, I would argue, one of the most significant hours that we spend here each week, I know that all of us miss being welcomed into Jim's office, which Jim made easy for us to find by hanging an Ichthus symbol outside of the door. Mr. President, my thoughts and prayers today are with Jim's wife, Kay, and with his family. Jim will be sorely missed. But in the midst of the sorrow, I'm also comforted by these words from the Apostle Paul, and these are words that I know Jim deeply believed. Quoting here, "Brothers and sisters, we do not want you to be uninformed about those who sleep in death, so that you do not grieve like the rest of mankind who have no hope. For we believe that Jesus died and rose again, and so we believe that God will bring with Jesus those who have fallen asleep in him. For the Lord himself will come down from heaven with a loud command, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet call of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. And so we will be with the Lord forever. Therefore, encourage one another with these words." End quote. Mr. President, I yield the floor.